Hi, everyone. Thank you for joining us today for this presentation. We will get started in just a minute or two, just giving everybody time to sign on. We're joined by Iryna Ostrovska, who is calling in from Ukraine in the evening there. And she is going to share with us about her hometown and the parks there, that she works in the parks department there. So let's just wait one more minute to get everybody on, and then we will go ahead and get started. Feel free to introduce yourself in the chat in the meantime. I know we have a lot of familiar faces on, lots of volunteers. Hey, Robin, how are you? I heard we have snow in Georgia today. Hey, Ethan. Okay. From Scotland. Wow, thank you for joining. Wisconsin. Delaware. That's kind of close to where I am. I'm in the DC area.
Okay.
Wonderful. All right, everybody. I will go ahead and kick us off just to give Iryna enough time to give her presentation. So I just wanted to say, first of all, thank you so much for joining us. And as you may already know, these events are an extra initiative we've started for our students that are made possible by Engine's monthly members and Rizub Society to give our students the opportunity to have their voices heard and gain essential practice giving a professional presentation in English. If you're interested in helping support us with this effort, please reach out to me. I'll go ahead and put my email in the chat in just a moment. It's egross@engineprogram.org. And just some general housekeeping for today. We'll need everybody to remain muted throughout the presentation and the Q&A today. We can just stay muted the whole time to make sure everybody can hear properly. We have about 45 minutes to get through everything, so I want to make sure everybody has a fair chance to ask questions and be heard. There will be some time for Iryna to answer questions at the end. We ask that you just use the chat box at any point throughout the presentation to enter questions, and then we will help facilitate that Q&A at the end. We're recording today's presentation, and we'll make the video of today's presentation available in our next volunteer newsletter, which is slated for January 15th. So now it is my pleasure to introduce our speaker, Iryna Ostrovska. Iryna has been an Engine student for just under a year. She is head of digitization and digital development at Dobroslav Settlement Council, a local government office in the town of Dobroslav, Ukraine. Iryna and her colleagues have worked hard on a community revitalization project that has gradually transformed abandoned landfill sites into public parks. And so that is what she's going to talk to us about today. So I will go ahead and hand it over to Iryna.
Yeah, thank you. So today I'd like to invite you on an exciting journey through the town of Dobroslav to dive into the history of its parks and gardens with you. And the topic of my presentation is Dobroslav's parks, from rubbish landfills to beautiful art-filled community parks and gardens. I will tell you how abandoned areas have turned into wonderful places for recreation and leisure. Our town was founded in 1802 by landowner Anton Kodentsev. So the first name of the town was Antono Kodentsev, and it was named after the founder. And in 2016, it was renamed to Dobroslav. This name of the town consists of two parts. It's Dobro and Slav. The first part, Dobro, means in Ukrainian well-being, happiness, and kindness. And the second part, Slav, comes from the word, from Ukrainian word slava, that symbolizes glory, honor, and recognition. On this slide, we can see some photos of the town. This art object and the entrance to the town of Dobroslav. It symbolizes the warmth, openness, and hospitality of the community. The colorful hands of different sides with hearts in the center represent the unity, friendliness, and diversity of the residents. Each color can symbolize different aspects of town life, such as nature, culture, and active social life. The hearts inside the hands indicate the sincerity and kindness that characterize the local community. It is bright and positive color, positive symbol that welcomes visitors and showcases the spirit of Dobroslav. Just a minute. With this slide, I'd like to show you where Dobroslav is located. Dobroslav is situated in the Odessa region, near the coast of the Black Sea. And in this section, we can see exact the area of Dobroslav. This is an estuary that divides Odessa and Mykolaiv region. This area for wildlife, including birds, fish, frogs, and water recreation, including swimming and beach activities. The population of the town is almost 8,000 people, and the area of the town is 2 square miles. And the distance to the Black Sea is 17.4 miles. This climate in our town is warm. Summer in Dobroslav is usually warm, sometimes hot, with average temperature in July around 27-28 degrees. But this year we had abnormal heat. Sometimes it was more than 40 degrees. And winter is moderately cold, with an average temperature in January about -2 or 3 degrees. And snow does not fall often, but sometimes it's possible. There are not any big industrial enterprises or factories, but here is an ecological territory, and it allows developing tourism here. And our local government decided to focus on the tourism, and it was the right choice, because unfortunately all that was left to Dobroslav from the Soviet times, it was pile of garbage dumps, gray unsightly buildings, and wastelands, and abandoned alleys. And therefore our local government has decided to turn all abandoned areas to beautiful parks and squares. And I will show you them on next slides. This object was opened in 2023. It's Friendship Alley, and it symbolizes the Commonwealth with 40 countries that are supporting Ukraine and providing assistance to Ukraine, including USA. Here is a flag. And you can see on this photo there are pansies in blue and yellow colors. It symbolizes a Ukrainian flag. This is square of Ukrainian song. This place is not only for relaxation, but it also a symbol of our cultural heritage, which conveys the love for native music from generation to generation. Ukrainian song has a centuries-old history that reflects on the life and feelings of the Ukrainian people. And in the center of this cozy place is a rotunda in the shape of a large antenna, as if transmitting Ukrainian singing to the heavens. And in the very center of rotunda stands a sculpture of bandura. It's a national Ukrainian national instrument, of the strings of which a mother rocks a cradle with a baby and sings lullabies. This art object symbolizes all the most pleasant and symbolic associations with Ukrainian song and its emotional power. As I said, Ukrainian song is an integral part of Ukrainian culture, reflecting the history, traditions, and feelings of the people. And do you know the song Carol of the Bells? I think. So Щедрик is an Ukrainian song, and Щедрик and Carol of the Bells are two Christmas compositions that have the same musical motif, but different lyrics and cultural contexts. Щедрик is a Ukrainian folk chant originally composed by Mykola Leontovich in 1916. And the song is traditionally associated with the celebration of the New Year in Ukraine. And in 1936, American composer and arranger Peter Wilhovsky, who was of Ukrainian descent, adopted the melody of Щедрик and added English lyrics to create Carol of the Bells. This park's name Щедрик is a nod to the famous Ukrainian folk chant, symbolizing the renewal and joy, but that comes with each new year. It has a central rotunda for artists' performances, and there is also a space of green lawn with benches and art objects, paradise apple and caterpillar for children. This is memorial complex to defenders of Ukraine. It was opened in 2018 to the Independence Day of Ukraine. It is in the form of the tower of Donetsk airport, and the height of the tower is 7 7.5 yards. It's sheltered and dilapidated mini copy of the real tower. There are 4 figures of cyborg soldiers around the tower, which in the ruins defended the Donetsk airport during 242 days. These figures are made in such a way as to create an optical illusion. At a certain angle, they become transparent and begin to disappear. They symbolizes the souls of fallen soldiers. On this slide, we can see how the residents of Dobroslav united to create the Alley of Heroes. This process became a true example of unity and care for a shared memory, and people leveled the ground and planted flowers and chestnut trees near each portrait. And every detail of this place was created with love and respect for our heroes, for our fallen soldiers. On this slide, we can see the process of creating something interesting. It was unsightly area near the park Shedrik, and we transformed this place. We created this Dali Square. Its resting place. This resting place is dedicated to the work of the brilliant Spanish artist Salvador Dali, who created in style of surrealism. And all art objects and sculptures are elements of some of the artist's most famous painting. This was also abandoned and unsightly part of our town, and we transformed it, and now we have a beautiful park. It's Dubai Park. A journey to the fairy tale eastern country, the United Arab Emirates, to the city of Dubai, and the beauty seen there once inspired the head of our community to create something similar in our town. And this park creates an impression of luxury and energy, and giving the Dubai Park sense of prestige. This area has always been full of garbage, and also our local government and residents transformed this place to the most romantic park in Dobroslav. It's Park of Loving Hearts, and we opened this park in 2017, and National Record of Ukraine was set in this park, the largest number of installations in the form of hearts in one park. There are 700 of them here. This was also a place with trash and rubbish, and we transformed this place to this beauty. It's park, Japanese garden. It was also opened in 2017, and there is an artificial pond with fish and sakura trees, and many flowers are blooming in this garden. And this place was one of the most abandoned in Dobroslav. As you can see in the photo, there was a lot of trash and weeds. And before I show you what a beauty this place has turned into, I'd like to tell you something else. I'd like to tell you about a prominent Ukrainian writer, Lesia Ukrainka. She is best known for her work Mavka Forest Song. It's poetic drama that weaves together folklore, mythology, and human emotions. And the play centers around Mavka, a forest nymph, and her love for a human named Lukas. And this tale explores themes of love, nature, and the clash between the natural and human worlds. And so the place that was a big landfill turned into a cultural and natural oasis. A park, the Forest Zone, is an ethnopark created based on the drama extravaganza of the Ukrainian writer Lesia Ukrainka. And on this slide, we can see two sculptures, its main characters. On the left side, we can see a sculpture of Lukas. He's playing the sopilka, Ukrainian, traditional Ukrainian flute. And on the right side, there is a sculpture of Mavka. And next slide. We can see sculptures of the other characters from the story. And also here we can see the park's territory also features other elements related to Ukrainian life. It's jugs, wooden buckets, beehives, and a bridge. This park is a wonderful example of how a neglected area can be transformed into an oasis of beauty. And this place was once a landfill, a place that evoked only sadness and decay, but thanks to the efforts of the local government and people who live here, the area was cleaned up, organized, and transformed into a beautiful park that now inspires and delights its visitors. So parks and gardens of Dobroslav are not only beautiful places for recreation, but also symbols of our joint work and care for nature. And I think now you understand why the meaning of the name of Dobroslav is kindness, happiness, and glory and respect. Thank you very much for your attention and time spent on this presentation and opportunity for me to practice my English. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Iryna. These parks are just absolutely beautiful. It got me thinking about the parks close to where I live, and they are nowhere near as beautiful as these. So thank you so much for sharing. I know that we had one question come in, which is, I guess, regarding the Dolly Park. So the Dali Park, I know that, obviously Salvador Dali is not Ukrainian. So what was the inspiration there, to have a surrealist art themed park?
Mm, it's an idea of our head of our mm, town. She's very creative and she likes to um, mm, how to say it, um, create these interesting ideas of uh, different parks.
So she's a very artistic
Yeah.
person, and just likes Dolly a lot. Wonderful. And I think one question that came in was about just the local tourism effort. Is tourism kind of at the heart of the economy in Dobroslav? Do a lot of people work in tourism, or what do most people do for jobs in Dobroslav?
No, tourism in Dobroslav is just beginning to develop, primarily driven by local government, um, because for um, broader tourism growth, business and investors involvement is essential. Um, when the full-scale war in Ukraine ongoing, it makes this challenging. So most residents work in trade, services, or public sector, with a school, kindergarten, medicine, uh, police, or fire department in the town.
Right, so it's, yeah, trades or public offices. Um, that's interesting though that tourism is becoming more of a focus. And I think we had one more question about the how are these projects organized? Does the head of the town or your mayor decide on her own, or are other government officials involved? Are there ways for citizens to kind of vote on ideas or nominate ideas for the parks? How do these decisions get made about the themes of the parks?
Most of decisions of this of create these parks, it was decisions of our local government, and we involve residents and volunteers for creating this job. Mm, for example, for tasks like planting flowers or trees, or cleaning up areas, we usually post uh, announcements and on local Facebook page, and people respond and come out and help. For more specialized work, like installing tiles or creating sculptures, we involve local enter and entre entrepreneurs, or how to say it. Uh,
Yeah, entrepreneurs.
yeah, and they are paid from the local budget. However, such work is sometimes done on volunteers as well.
Okay. So there's a mix of volunteers and paid people who do this work. And it sounds like, I mean, you have an incredible volunteer base. And Dobroslav, I saw, in all the pictures, there's many people contributing and helping. So um, it's just great to see all those helpers out there. And I think we had another question about the yin yang symbol. Does one of the parks have a yin yang symbol? And I'm not sure if I think I may have been in the Japanese garden, or I was it in another one. But somebody is saying that their engine buddy said that this symbol may have originated in Ukraine. I've never heard that before.
On this slide?
Yeah, maybe it's not that one. I thought I saw it too, but yeah, the yin yang symbol, the black and white symbol. That's okay. We're just curious if it was there, and maybe we can look that up too. I think later and figure out the origins of that symbol. I always thought it was Eastern as well. So, and then there was another question about whether local governments of different towns and cities collaborate and share ideas with Dobroslav about the parks or public works, public recreation. Is this something that other towns work with Dobroslav on or talk about with?
Especially for parks, I think no, but we try to look for new partnerships and collaborate with other cities and towns and share experience and.
Yeah. And I think just before the call, you were telling me about that you have some sister cities that you work with. Would you want to talk a little bit about that? The sister cities?
Yeah, we have sister city, foreign sister city. I mean, in Germany, it's Schwentinental. We just establish this partnership, and in the beginning of our how to say it,
Relationship or
relationship, yeah, and
yeah.
exchange our experience.
Yeah, specifically about parks. So is that included in the
Mhm.
in the sister city programs? Yeah. And you said there was another sister city, I think in Latvia.
Yeah, but it's not official, but we also um, support our relationship, and sometimes we send our children of our fallen soldiers to recreation to this country.
So like a summer camp or a
Yeah.
recreational camp. Yeah,
Mhm.
that's great. Um, Another question about, so landfills obviously can be an environmental hazard with toxic chemicals like lead. Was this a problem for you when building the parks? And then how do you work with it if there are some toxic chemicals from landfills?
Yeah, I'm sorry, could you repeat the
Yeah,
question?
sure. So for environmental pollution that may be caused by the landfills before their parks, when you go to transform them into parks, how do you work with the environment, you know, to counteract the pollution?
Yeah, it was also, I remember in my childhood, it was a really problem because um, we can't go to um, for leisure or something else for work. Um, we can't go anywhere and um, in some beautiful places. It was a lot of garbage and just um, full unsightly territory. But we don't have any factories or enterprises in our territory, just people throughout their garbage. But we cleaned up this territory the most how to say, dirty, and create these parks, and people started to maybe change their mind. And
Yeah, so it sounds like the what pollution there was not toxic chemicals or anything like that that you had to handle or deal with. Okay. And then somebody is asking about the Dubai park. They said the beauty and similarity to the one in Dubai is really good. So what was the inspiration? I think you said it was it the founder of the city was interested in Dubai, or am I saying it wrong? I can't remember.
It was our head of our town
Okay.
went to Dubai, and it was her idea to create all these sculptures and create this park near the lake of our town.
So the inspiration again came from your mayor or the head of the city. Neat. And then where do the trees come from? Who grows them for these projects? Are there specific kinds of trees that are planted? For instance, trees native to Ukraine. I know you mentioned chestnut trees before. What other types of trees are usually planted?
It's our local entrepreneur, or how to say it, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
They grow these plants, and sometimes um, they give like volunteers, but sometimes we paid from our local budget for these plants.
Mm-hmm. And so are there any particular types of trees that you all pick that are native to Ukraine, like that naturally grow in Ukraine? Um,
Yeah,
like fruit trees or nut trees or anything like that that naturally occur in Ukraine.
mm. I'm sorry, could you repeat, because
Yeah,
I
sure. I'm
didn't
sorry.
understand.
So are there any trees that are in the parks that are natural to Ukraine? So ones that, you haven't planted from, like, say, somebody grew them somewhere else and brought them in. Do you have any that are natural, have been there?
Yeah, we have and naturals, and a lot of trees we planted, like this park in Japanese garden. We planted um, a lot of sakura and mm, and other trees. I don't remember named of this.
That's okay.
Um,
So it sounds like a mix maybe
yeah.
of native or indigenous trees. Thank you, everybody, of two and ones that are grown elsewhere, um, imported. And then I think one last question for you, Iryna, because we're getting close to the end, is this stringed instrument that I think the nymph is playing, or who is it? No, who was playing that? And the stringed instrument in the beginning was the park with the music with the mother and the child.
It was also idea of our head of our town, because um, she's sure that we have to um, mm, share memory of our culture, and we have to populate um, um, Ukrainian culture, and have to um, create this
Yeah.
location. our town.
And the name of the instrument, could you remind us what the name of that instrument is?
Instrument is bandura.
Dora. And this is an instrument that comes from Ukraine. Could you talk a
Mhm.
little bit more about the instrument?
It's a little difficult for me
That's
in
okay.
English.
Yeah, that's okay. But it sounds like it's something that everybody knows about, has seen in Ukraine. Yeah. So could you spell the spelling of the instrument?
Spell Bandura.
Bandura.
Mm-hmm. I can write in the chat.
Great. Wonderful. Thank you. I think everybody's so interested to learn more about Ukrainian culture and have learned we've learned so much today. So there's lots of cool links and things to look at. I know Katerina shared something she found about the yin yang symbol. So we'll be sure to send these out in our follow-up messaging with the recording. I just wanted to thank everybody again for attending today, and to thank Iryna for sharing so much about her beautiful town. It was so great to go on this kind of virtual journey with you. We really, really appreciate you calling in the evening after work to talk to us. So thank you so much. And again, you know, these presentations are an extra, a supplementary opportunity for our students. If you have a student who you think might be interested in sharing their story, please feel free to reach out to me. And I'll put my email in the chat here. And also, you know, we're all constantly looking for new speakers. So please feel free to reach out to me. Thank you so much, Iryna. Really appreciate it. So thank you. Thank you,
Thank you so
everybody.
much. Thank you for
Thank
this
you.
opportunity.
Thank you. Have a good day, everybody.
Good day.